Hey girl, I'm Kylie Pax. After a lifetime of emotional eating, struggling with my weight, and being a serial dieter, I finally found the missing key to weight loss and I lost 20 kilos. Each week, I'll give you my no BS weight loss advice so you can sprinkle it over your life and your dinner plate and lose weight too. Everything I teach you is fluff-free. That means you'll learn simple strategies to master not only your weight, but your mindset as well. Girl, you get that in check and those extra kilos will never haunt your booty again. If you're ready to lose the weight for life, let's go. What is up, my gorgeous, fabulous creatures, and welcome to episode number 56 of the No BS Weight Loss Podcast. This week we are talking about my favorite topic in the whole entire world. We're talking about the eating codes. Honey, please, I could talk to you about the eating codes all day long. In fact, I have been talking about the eating codes nonstop for a good 7 years now. Why would I be doing this? Because the eating codes are exactly what I did to lose 20 kilos and keep that weight damn well off. Let me tell you a little bit about the eating codes. The eating codes first came about, let's have a history lesson. The eating codes are, well, really, it's the name I gave to the 5 practices that I implemented and honed over a period of a few years, really, to lose weight. You might think 20 kilos, couldn't get that off in a couple of months? No, honey, no, let me tell you something. I did not have someone like me that I could lean on, look to, get advice from. There was no social media back then. Like, it was a whole different world. Honey, you want to find something out, you better go to your Funk and Wagnalls because you weren't going to find it anywhere else. So the eating codes are what I created as a result of my 20 kilo weight loss. Now, there's 5 of them, and I'm sure I did 10 billion different things. But what I actually decided to do was, when it was all over and done with, I sat back and looked at the journey and thought, what did I actually do that is rinse and repeatable that I can continue to do day in, day out that would help me keep the weight off? Because, you know, as you know, hello, we've all tried 10,000 diets out there. It's one thing to get the weight off your body. That's fucking easy. Any clown could get weight off their body. There's 10 million diets out there. Take your pick, honey, please. But keeping it off, well, my darling, that is a whole different matter. So I looked at the practices that I had implemented and thought, what are the main ones and which ones can I group together? And what are the things specifically that I did that were the biggest needle movers in my journey? And this is where I came up with the 5 eating codes. Now, I'm going to run through them all for you today. And quite frankly, I literally don't know how we got to episode 56 of the podcast without me ever really giving you a proper rundown of the eating codes. I mean, I know I talk about them periodically. I insert them into different sentences and things, but if you want to know them, I'm going to give you the outline today, but if you want to see how they work in practice, in real life, and exactly how you can use them in your weight loss journey, please do. You know what I'm going to say now because I say it every damn week. Go ahead and click the link below, kyliepax.com/free course. I give it all to you in my free course, and it's every last thing that I did, including the 5 eating codes to lose the 20 kilos and keep it off. So as I say, anybody can lose weight. That's not the hard part. The hard part is once you lose the weight, how are you going to, really a diet would have you manipulate your life so that you can lose the weight. But are you going to manipulate forever? Nobody wants a constant manipulation. It's not fun. I'm talking what practices can you implement now that can help you for the long term. So there's 5 eating codes. I'm going to lay them out for you now in order of importance. No, not necessarily, honestly, not necessarily in order of importance. However, this is the rate at which when I teach them, I start from 1 to 5. I'm going to lay them all out for you, and then I'm going to break it down so that you can really understand how they would work in your life, how I use them, how you can use them, and how you can use them to lose weight straight away. So the first one, as we move forward today, the first eating code is eating code number 1. Only makes sense, doesn't it, really? Eating code number 1, and I call it, how do I call it? Eat when you're hungry, don't eat when you're not. Now, quite frankly, this sounds like weight loss for dummies, really. Eat when you're hungry, don't eat when you're not. It seems so simple in theory, but honey, you want to try to put that one into practice? Let me tell you something right now. It is much harder than it appears on the surface. We eat for a million different reasons. Very, very little of them have anything to do with actual physical hunger. The stronger the compulsion that you feel to eat when you know you're not hungry, the stronger whatever the feeling or emotion is that you're trying to escape from. And you can tweet me on that, honey, because that's a thing. That is a thing. So we eat for 10 million reasons, but usually we're not hungry. You know this. We eat because we've had a bad day. We eat because we've had a good day. We eat because we had a fight. We're thinking about having a fight. Most often, we eat when things have happened. We eat when we're worried about things happening. We eat for any reason at all, as I say, and usually not because you're hungry. You can also eat because you're hungry and then enjoy the experience so much that you don't want the eating to end. So now we're still eating. All of this, as you know, of course, all of this results in weight loss. No, I wish overeating resulted in weight loss. I'd be a fucking stick insect. No. All of this results in weight gain, people. It results in weight gain, which is what we want to avoid. Avoid the weight gain. So the first code, eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not. This you can implement right now, today, at your next meal, if necessary. The essence of it is like this. If you're not hungry, don't eat. What is that going to look like in real life practice? It's going to look like you coming home, feeling upset, stressed, wired, and wanting to decompress, or anything. That could be the end of the day. It could be the beginning of the day. And it's now hitting 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and you're not hungry yet for some reason, but you just want to eat. Well, it's breakfast time, Kylie. Surely I should eat. Well, if your body's not physically hungry, if it's not calling or asking for food, calling, like giving you an SMS, if it doesn't ask you for food, shockingly surprising, I know, it doesn't need food. Our bodies are so ridiculously and insanely intelligent, brilliantly, deviously intelligent, that they truly, if you feed it when it's not hungry, let me tell you something really important about that, eating when you're not hungry. If you feed it when it's not hungry, it doesn't need the energy at that time, doesn't need it. What the hell do you think it's supposed to do with that food? It's not going to burn it off in like a flurry of calorie incineration. That's not a thing. It's going to store it as fat, and our booties can all attest. But here's the other thing with eating when you're not hungry. There is a hunger scale, and we'll talk about this as we progress through the podcast today, but there's a hunger scale. It goes from 1 to 10. Well, I've made this up, really. I've created a hunger scale. It goes from 1 to 10. And if you are eating before you have a green light, so to speak, like to use a metaphor, if you eat before you have a green light to start eating from your body, then you are not going to get a red light to stop. I want you to think about it this way. When you eat, when you're not hungry, like you might not have to think back too far into the memory banks to be able to pull one of these examples out. And the last time you ate when you're not hungry, did you feel a feeling of fullness? Or were you kind of like, you could have just kept eating and eating and just eating until you just felt uncomfortable? I'm telling you, if your body is not calling for food, it can't give you a stop signal like, oh, that's okay, honey, you've had enough now. It can't give that to you because it didn't ask you to start in the first place. This is so fucking important. I cannot tell you how brutal this is. I cannot tell you how crucial it is. If you're not hungry and you don't eat now, what you're going to be left with is all the feelings, emotions, all the feels. You're going to be left with all the feels that you were previously eating to get rid of. Now, how freaking good do you think that's going to feel? Not very freaking good at all. Not. Of course not. If you were feeling the worry or stress of well, let me just give you my examples because really, whose else am I going to use? When I went through a marriage breakdown and divorce, do you think I was all in my fucking zone and doing some Zen moments and letting those feelings, flow through me and pass back out to the universe? No, I was not. Oh, no, I was not. I was stuffing my face with food because I didn't know how to cope with the intense rage that I was feeling. Another example. Oh my gosh. I mean, deaths in the family, huge life changes will definitely send you running to the refrigerator. Relationship breakdowns, starts of new relationships. It's not always the bad things that we eat over. Sometimes it's the fabulous things that we eat over. Oh, this is fun. Let's go out to eat. And we eat when we're not hungry. We eat more than we need. All of this leads to extra kilos on thy butt, none of which we feel good about. So the first eating code, to wrap this one up with a tight little bow, is really simple. If you're not hungry, Put the food down and back the fuck away. The second eating code number 2, is decide what it is that you want to eat. Now, I used to teach this in quite a different way, and I've recently sort of flipped the script on the way that I teach this eating code because I've sort of trialed out some new methods for myself, and I think they work brilliantly. Like my evil little voice is behind the scenes. I love it. I love it. I used to teach this code, and I'll tell you just really quickly because you can do what works for you. This might work better for you. But when it comes to eating what it is that you really want, you get the opportunity now to decide what your body really wants in that moment. So you might be a person that just likes to fly by the seat of your pants, and you like to decide moment by moment, meal by meal, this is what I want to eat, and this is what my body actually feels like. However, and I say this as opposed to eating what a diet tells you to eat, right? Like, because that's just bullshit. Who likes that? Nobody likes that. The flip side of this code is that alternatively, if you're a person who likes structure, if you like plans, if you like to know what is coming up ahead so that you can have some foresight and forethought and you can prepare for it, then the new way that I'm teaching this particular eating code is that you grab a journal, pen and paper, a fucking sticky note, do whatever you have to do, and you plan out your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks for the day first thing in the morning. Now, why first thing in the morning? Why not do it the night before? You can do whatever works for you, but I highly recommend, and I practice myself doing it first thing in the morning. Reason being because 6 a.m. version of Kylie has my best interest in mind. I am vibed for the day. I'm pumped. I'm optimistic. Anything could happen. This could be an amazing day. This is the vibe before children start screaming and squabbling, before you get to the office and everything's falling apart, before the day turns to shit, right? I have already now committed to myself, breakfast, I'm eating this. Lunch, I'm eating this. Dinner, this. And my snacks will be X, Y, Z. And let me make this very fucking clear. When you first start implementing this eating code, you are not required to be breakfast, fruit, salad, and yogurt. Lunch, tuna sandwich or whatever. And dinner, steamed broccoli and chicken. Like, no. If you want to put down McDonald's on your plan, you put it on the plan, because the whole point of the plan, and I actually call it a simple daily plan, the whole point of making your simple daily plan is that you begin to get into the practice of, even more so than eating healthy, you get into the practice of eating what you commit to yourself to eat, and / more broadly, doing what it is that you say you're going to do, people. The reason I say this is because how many times have you said to yourself, oh, I'm definitely going to eat clean today. I'm going to do amazing. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do these things. It's fucking amazing. And then the time comes for you to actually do the damn thing and you don't do it. You did nothing. You're sitting back in your recliner with your Netflix and your Cheetos and you're thinking, this is great. I'll do it tomorrow, you tell yourself. And your brain hears one more time, it's not important for me to see my commitments through. It's not important for me to do what I say. Keeping my word, that's for other people, not for me. And then you wonder why you so easily break the plans the next time you do make them and you really want to implement them. But that voice that's all up in your grill is like, oh no. You don't need to do that. You can start tomorrow. You can do it another time. It doesn't really matter. No one's going to know. It's the stories that you have told yourself a million different times, and now they are squirreled away in your subconscious. And the only way that voice in your head knows how to deal with the new commitments that you're making is to help you self-sabotage them, because that's what you always do. So now it's time for eating code number 3. This one is the magic weight loss code. This is one of my favorites. Like, I have a couple of favorites and I always toss and turn between the two, but this is definitely one of them. This eating code is called Satisfied Not Stuffed. And this is where the hunger rating scale comes in that I talked about previously. It goes from 1 to 10. It's fabulous. And as you trot along this hunger scale, I'm going to tell you exactly, you want to know, Kylie, this is all very interesting, but how's this going to help me lose weight? Let me tell you, I'll tell you exactly how this is going to help you lose weight. Let's imagine a hunger scale. So imagine a line, we're lying horizontally on a piece of paper, a line, and it goes from 1 to 10. 1 is I'm so hungry, I'm going to gnaw my own arm off. And 10 is I just ate a Christmas meal, I think my toes are numb. That's stuffed to the brim as opposed to starving, hungry. Where I want you to stop eating is at what I would call level 5, smack in the middle. Now, let me explain to you what each level would feel like to you and your body so that you can know exactly when you're going to stop eating. So if 1 is starving and 10 is stuffed, then 2, 3, 4 must be getting towards enough food. That would make sense. And then 6, 7, 8, and 9 is getting more and more stuff full of food. So if you're hungry, you sit down to eat, you're at level 1, even let's say you're even starting at level 2. Level 1 is, like I say, gnaw my own arm off, I'm starving. Level 2 is I can tell I'm going to be quite hungry within the hour. Like I'm really hungry. 3 would be, I reckon I'll be hungry like soon enough. And 4 is I kind of just ate, I'm good right now. So if you are going to eat at say level 1 or 2, then moving back up the scale, you would be level 3 would be, yep, still feel like I'm hungry. Level 4 would be, I'm not starving anymore, definitely not starving, but I can definitely feel that I'm heading towards enough food. Notice I'm not saying full. I don't want you to feel full, I'm so full. No. I want you to stop. Level 5 is when you stop eating, when the hunger is just gone. It's like the fucking twilight zone of fullness. You're not full, but you're not hungry either. It's just gone. That is level 5. Now, let me tell you what will happen if you decide to keep on eating after level 5. If you continue to eat and you eat to say level 6 or 7, you're not going to gain weight, but you won't lose weight either. If you keep eating to levels 8, 9, and 10, well, yes, honey, obviously you're going to gain weight. Eating code number 4. This one is called tune in and don't tune out. This is about, it's twofold. This code is twofold. It's about you tuning in to the food you're actually eating. Oh, please. How many of us sit down, watch TV at night and eat your dinner? Like raising an emoji hand here. All of us do. I do it. We all do it. And it's fine and it's fabulous. However, when you are not giving your full attention to the food, that's fine, but don't expect to feel all the flavors, all the sensations, all the textures. That isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen because your attention is deviated between several different tasks. So then what happens is we sit down, we eat our meal in front of the TV, and it's fabulous. But then even though we know we've had enough, oh honey, please, you know you've had enough food. You know, but something in your brain just goes, but I just want more. I just want more. Of course you fucking want more. You didn't pay attention to what you ate to start with. You are craving more food, not because you crave more actual food, but because you're craving the eating experience that you missed. You like ditched out on that while you were watching your Kardashians. That's me. And you missed the eating experience. You want that. We need that. The sensations, the textures, the flavors, all of it. You're getting it. Of course you're getting it, but you're certainly not getting it to the degree that you could be if you're paying more attention to your food. Now, this eating code number 4, does that mean that you can never watch TV and eat again at the same time? No, of course not. I'm just asking you to give it a go. Or as we say here down under, give it a crack. See what it's like to sit down at the table with you and your cutlery and just actually taste the flavors in the food. Let's know what you're actually working with here. Then you can decide, do I really want more, or am I at level 5 and have I really had enough? Now, the flip side, as I said, of eating code number 4 is you using food as a way to tune out of your life. How many of us do this? It really goes back to eating code number 1. When you are eating when you're not hungry, you are using food as a way to tune out of your life. Rather than feel, deal, work through whatever is going on, we try and eat it away, which of course is not a thing. All we do is stuff those emotions down with food. They're still there. Oh, mind you, they're there. They're just waiting to come resurface and haunt you again as soon as the fullness has passed. But what we do is we start our situation with one problem. Let's say you have a life problem. I don't know. What? The car broke down and it was highly inconvenient. Now you're at home and you're really pissed and you're tired. And so we eat to avoid feeling what we're feeling. However, you started this little eating escapade with one problem. Your car's broken down. That's going to cost you money. Get the mechanic, got to fix it, right? But by the time you've eaten 14 tubs of ice cream, 2 pounds of Cheetos and some Oreos, now you've got 2 problems. You still got your car broken down and you got 2 extra kilos stuck to your booty. Which one is worse? Just start with the one problem and deal and fix with that one first. Don't create a second problem to smokescreen and mask what is really going on in your life. Now, the 5th eating code is, I think this is like, shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell the other children, but this is actually my favorite. The 5th eating code is act like the person you want to become. And I always say when I'm talking to clients, if you forget all the other codes and forget everything else and it's all just like fizzled through your brain and you don't remember a thing, if you can just remember this one code, act like the person you want to become, it will save you time and time again. What do I mean by this? I mean, we're all working towards our goals in life. It's fantastic. It's fucking fabulous, as you hear me say. It's great. It's great. We're working towards our goals and it's really good. However, let's say I want to lose 50 kilos. Okay, fine. I have 50 kilos I want to lose and I want to lose 50 kilos, but I really love my junk food and I like to come home at night and I want to eat ice cream in front of the TV and this is the things that I do and they give me comfort and that's great, fantastic. We can deal with that as we go along the journey. However, if you want to expedite the process and really speed that shit up, the best thing you can do is implement eating code number 5. And before you make any damn decision whatsoever, you ask yourself, would my 50 kilo lighter version of me, would she eat this, do this, say this, be this? Would she? If she would not eat 14 tubs of ice cream, then you also just say no to it. You just say no. If she would not stay home every Saturday night missing all the parties because she feels so bad about her body, then you also don't do that. You make the same decisions she would make. And it's so easy. Yet it depends on how clear your vision of you is to where you want to go, because that obviously is required. It's a required component of eating code number 5. You've got to know where it is that you want to go. You want to know very clearly how you want to end up and imagine this in your mind. Or you can cut out pictures. Where am I? Back in 1970, cut pictures out of a magazine. You can create your Pinterest board, do what you want to do, but create not just the body and the look. Yes, definitely do that. But I want to know the whole lifestyle. What is that like? What time does she get up? What time does she go to bed? What is she eating? What is she drinking? What kind of people does she hang out with? Because honey, your little friends list might need a bit of an overhaul. You might need to clean some stuff out there. Remember, you want people on your journey that are going to support you and your mission, not are going to drag you down every time you're turning around. So eating code number 5. This is the basics. Would she avoid exercise and make fucking lame ass excuses every 2 seconds, or would she get her ass up and do just a 5-minute walk? She's got 50 kilos to lose. She probably would start with a 5-minute walk. And if that's what she's doing, then that's what you do. It's simple and it's implementable and you can start doing it right away. The only thing that is going to potentially trip you up is you looking at the long journey and thinking, lame ass thoughts. I've got so far to go. This is going to take too long. This will never work. All of that. And we will talk about the voice more in other podcasts, but honestly, all of that is the voice. That is the voice in your head that is there it seems like it's there to undermine us and sabotage us at every single turn, but honestly, it's there to protect you. It doesn't know what is on the other side of this 50 kilo loss that you say that you want. Doesn't know. It only knows what is here and now. And if you can just keep eating the Cheetos, you'll be safe. Miserable? Yes, but safe. Your brain only has 3, I'm sure it has many other jobs, but it has 3 main jobs. The first of which is to observe your life, catalog the events as memories so that you can recall it later for warm and fuzzy feelings. It's fabulous. The second is to keep your heart, lungs beating, kidneys flushing, just, nothing of very much importance. And the third one is to make sure at all costs that you stay alive. That means it has to keep you safe. It has to keep you safe. And if anything that you're doing or even thinking about doing could be mildly, in the voice's eyes, dangerous, it's not going to let you do it. It's going to kick up a stink every single time. Don't do that. Don't do that. You go for a walk, you probably pull a muscle. Don't do that. You're going to eat that salad. It's probably got grubs in it. Don't eat that. Get the burger. At least it's fried. That is the voice. It will tell you any ridiculous story that it has to keep you where you are now. As I say, it doesn't care that you're not happy where you are now. It doesn't care that you're in fact miserable where you are now. You are safe where you are now. Miserable, as I say, but safe. And all it cares about is safe. Your job is not to argue to and fro with the voice. Your job is simply to reassure yourself, well, moving forward is also a safe option. Creating the life that I dream of is also a safe option. And I'm going to take it in micro steps, as you hear me talk about, micro changes rather than macro. Macro will freak the voice out in your head. Freak it out. It'll be like, this change is too big, it's too drastic. Just being, stay where you are. But micro changes do not trigger the alarm bells in your brain. In fact, you can slide them on in there like stealth, right? It's like ninja tactics. And you can do that and start making the changes that you need to make in a way that doesn't freak yourself out. So my darlings, that is it for today's session. I am so happy that you came and joined me. Thank you so much. And as always, you know how we roll here, honey. You know how we roll. Skip on over to kyliepax.com/free course where I give you a 4-part video series explaining exactly how to implement these eating codes for your particular circumstances. And as you always hear me say, the only person who has the power to change your life is you. When you step up, take the information that you learned today and fucking put it into implementation. Action those items, people. Action them. That is when you've got what it takes. I'm sending you tremendous amounts of love. Until next week, my beautiful ones, I will see you then. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com/free course and sign up for my free weight loss training so you can start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources in my past podcasts that will help you lose your weight without the BS diet drama. I'll see you next week.